Enough about that. Let's get into this parenting conversation. Because parenting is a beast and it does not come with a manual. And when you get to talking about raising adult children,
Do we really call it raising adult children or
we
guiding?
don't have to call it raising adult children.
Because we've raised them.
So it's guiding them.
So I figured now it would be considered guiding them. Because
All right, talk to me then. Tell me something good.
I don't know about telling you something good, but I got something to tell you. So I have a 21-year young son. I have a 16-year young daughter, and I have a 5-year young daughter. So navigating parenting with these three ages, technically I'm still raising my 5-year-old, I'm still raising my 16-year-old. I'm not raising my 21-year-old anymore. Now I'm just there as support, as guidance, a soundboard, give advice when needed, a support system. I'm still his support system, but I don't think I'm past the raising stage. So now I'm learning how to fall back some and allow him to step into his manhood, right? Not be so micromanagey, you know what I mean? Like he's figuring out his life, which direction he wants to go in, which is carpentry, right? We've already discussed that. He's just about finished with his trade, so he'll be graduating soon, so that's a good thing. He does have a girlfriend now. They've known each other since they were 13, 14. So you don't have to worry about him bringing a whole bunch of different girls to my house and things like that. So that's cool. He has a pretty strong, solid foundation. He has his head on straight and he's doing something positive with himself. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm just adjusting to this new stage of mothering, of parenting, or guiding. It has its challenges. I've raised my children to be headstrong, to be independent. And so now I'm getting some of that. What I put in, I'm getting some of that back. And then also sometimes my actions or my words, they may sting them as well, even if they are calm, hella calm. I'm just adjusting to this part of being a parent. And it looks very different than it did when I was raising them. When I was raising him, if I'm speaking on my son specifically, I was 23 when I had him. So I was still very young, hot-headed, that firecracker, 0 to 100, just all of that dysfunctional energy. Now I'm a lot more calmer. I'm more intentional with how I try to interact with him and allow him to have his voice and try to keep the peace as much as I can because he's still at home, right? He's not out on his own yet, but he's working towards that and I support that. But he is still at home, so that means that we still have to interact with each other and sometimes it may not always pan out the way I desire it.
Have you ever had that moment at work where you notice that people are being rude and disrespectful? Sometimes people are overreacting without thinking, and you just wish that there was somebody who was dedicated to doing something about it. If this even sounds remotely familiar, I encourage you to sign up for our Civility Intelligence Trainer program put on by EI 365 that's rooted in our signature approach of EI Code of Conduct. If you or someone in your organization would like to be a thought leader on civility intelligence and help neutralize that undesirable behavior in your work environment, you can reach out and book a call so we can certify trainers inside of your organization so you can have a constant eye on workplace incivility. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Sometimes it may not always pan out the way I desire it to be. So then I'm faced with certain challenges in practicing certain EI strategies that at the end of the day will help me and it'll benefit the situation because I don't want to have any more negative encounters with my kid. Like that's just just absurd. I don't want that anymore. So I know I said a lot. I said a earful, but that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now.
Like I told you off camera, allow him to make some mistake, right? And it's a difference between guiding him and controlling him.
Right.
And so you said guiding him. And in the process of guiding someone, you give them the instructions to life, which you've given him for 21 years. So he knows how to be a good person. He is a good person. He's a good human, right? He knows right from wrong. He knows how to keep himself out of trouble. He's done it this far. It's time to let the reins go and let him go out into the world. And like I said, not micromanage. Let's see what the influence did. Because you had some type of influence on him, so let's see what it did. And time will tell that story. But
Well, it's actually telling the story already, in a sense.
In a sense, because he's not doing half the stuff that he could be doing.
Yeah.
And I tell you this all the time. You know where my son at? And he was there at 21. Came home and now he's 25 and back in there. You know what I'm saying? So give him credit for the things that he's not doing. And understand that a lot of things that 21-year-olds do are not well thought out. So where you would want to assume that he knows better or that he shouldn't be doing this, some of the things that we do at 21, it's not even well thought out. We so spur of the moment and so on the fly, and is this what we doing right now? Yep. And with no thought or afterthought till it's a need for a thought or afterthought, if that makes sense.
It does. And didn't you say that a man's brain doesn't stop developing until he's 24?
I think it's 26. The new scientists have proved that a male's brain does not finish developing until he's 26. And if we just take it, I didn't get my shit together until I was 33. It just looked like this now because I'm 49. But
when you say get your shit together, you mean by way of figuring life out. Okay.
I was still a knucklehead at 33.
Okay. What changed your sense of direction? Like what made that light come on? Like, okay, I
don't think it was just one thing that made the light come on. Probably the situation or the circumstances that I encountered at 33. Not quite sure if I can pinpoint what it was, but at 33 is when I got my license and I went over the road and started driving trucks. And then being away from Oakland for a year or 9 months gave me so driving a truck across country solo gave me a lot of time to think and reflect and what I wanted to really do with myself and how I wanted my life to look and all that. But it took a lot of self-reflecting time in order for me to even figure this out.
That solitude.
Solitude will do it to you. So when I hear parents saying they got a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old that's not necessarily doing what the parent would want them to do, I gently remind them that we weren't doing what our parents wanted us to do at 21, 22 either. We was in a much worse position than he is. That's a good kid. You got some good kids.
Thank you.
I seen today that all y'all got a smart mouth and some snappy comebacks. I see exactly where they get it from. You got to give your children room to grow. And we also talked about not punishing them for things that we didn't teach them, right? So don't assume that they know anything, no matter how simple or how common sense we think it is. If I ain't teach my children, I'll no longer punish them for it. It's a teachable moment for both of us in these moments, because even if you knew, you still did that, and that's not right.
You mean talking about?
Period.
Oh, you talking about us?
No, I'm talking about my kids, period. I'm talking about children, period.
In general.
I'm talking about in general. If your adult child does something and you haven't had the ability to teach them this yet because it never came up, or this situation just never it's never presented itself. I think the first couple of times is a teachable moment, because people like to say, I ain't telling my kids nothing but once, but we often have to get told things more than one time, even as adults.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and we both read books. And then the second time we read the book, we get a different meaning. And the third time, okay, now we got it. And that's us reading with full level of comprehension.
Right.
So how we feel like they gonna get it on a first try, it's unfair.
And then I hear it one last time, the same thing from a different person. And I'm like, oh, Nafeesah, you need to rearrange some things in your life so you can be a better person.
And it took you a couple tries.
It took me more than a couple. It took me a few tries.
So don't think that it's going to be different for him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. It's simply just not going to be different for him. So at the end of the day, that'll relieve some of the frustration.
And relieving some of the frustration will also eliminate certain expectations that I've put on him. And I guess that just comes from him being around me, other family members, the different conversations, the different connections that he's made outside of home, being at Job Corps and whatnot, having that year away from home, not living at home, but that time, the different relationships that he's built, being there, I figured, and maybe I'm wrong for figuring that, but I assumed that certain common sense things would just register without me having to explain it, especially because he's had this time away from me. And I've already taught him certain things as it pertains to how to carry yourself, the respect that you have for other people when you go out, you know what I'm saying? The consideration that you give for elderly, you know, just different things, no matter what it is. But I've instilled a lot.
You've raised some amazing children. I told you that in the beginning of this podcast. But being an amazing child does not qualify him to know everything you think he's supposed to know. No matter how simplistic or how common sense you think it is, I'm 100% certain that that young man just does without even thinking about it. Because that's just what we do. We don't think things all the way through in the beginning until it's a problem. Then we start to put a little bit more thought into it. Unless someone comes and pull our coattail to it and say, that's not how you conduct yourself right there. Then he knows the new boundary. And everything a child does, and I had this issue with my son, I used to think everything that he done or did was disrespectful to me, until I realized that he just doing shit. He not even, I think in order for it to be qualified for disrespect, they have to be intentionally doing it to be disrespectful. A lot of this stuff that's going on, no thought process is put into it beforehand. So it could not be considered disrespect. It may be inconsiderate and thoughtless. Disregarding is a new fancy word for disrespect. Because he not putting no effort in, he not putting no regard in it to disregard it. I gotta put some regard into it first for me to disregard it. Yeah. I'm just not thinking about it like that. I didn't see it like that until you bring it to my attention. And then I still may not see it like that, but now I understand where you're coming from. So before, I think that is the jewel. If I'm not thinking about respect, it ain't disrespect. If I'm not thinking about your regard, it's not disregard. It's just simply being inconsiderate, because I didn't consider any of this. Just doing like kids, they just do. Yes, he's 21. Yes, he's technically an adult. Yes, if he gets caught right now, or not get caught because he's not doing nothing, but if he gets stopped by the police for anything, they're going to take him to Santa Rita. He's going to be an adult, right? I get that. But at 21 years old, and what I know about him in particular, he's not a reckless young man.
No, it's not. And I'm very grateful for that, because that eliminates the anxiety that I would have as a mom if that were the case. So I count my blessings as they come. and even before they come. But yes, I am thankful that my kid is not out here being reckless. And so that's why it's important for me to build on the relationship that we've already developed, and then also, like you said, pull back a little bit or even a lot, and just
21.
allow him to figure things out on his own. I mean, and he's been doing that. He's been doing a very good job of it. I have to give credit where it's due, because even though I have been a single mom since he was about what, 6, 6, 7, I've had a lot of amazing support that has helped me raise him. So if it wasn't for that support system, you included, no telling where my kid would be right now.
And so that's what I'm saying. So I believe that if you started off every conversation with the praise that you just gave him right now, the reception would be a lot better. And for me, I had to understand that when I sat down and talked to my second oldest, she literally said that she felt depressed for not being recognized as a good kid. She literally said that. She gave us the insight to a child. So we got to use that type of insight for our children. You know what I mean? So we have to lead with more praises and more recognition for being a good kid, and stop just saying because they did it, that's something that they're supposed to do. Because it's a lot of 21-year-olds out here that's not doing what they're supposed to do.
No, I agree. And
So-
I give him praises. Don't think that I don't.
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm
I-
saying before you start a difficult conversation, soften it with the praise or letting him know. Because also, when we come at our children with the what you didn't do, what you need to do, and all that, we tend to beat them down. So if we gonna at least build us up a little bit before you knock me all the way down, or as we said before, watch our words. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And no matter how calm they are, they still cut. You dig what I'm saying? So I just thought about it. If we change the way that we handle our children or communicate with our children, and we start modeling, this is gonna piss some parents off.
What?
If you start modeling respect to your children and for your children, they'll model it back, right? And I know that's gonna rub some parents wrong because I don't gotta respect my child.
I don't believe that.
But I've heard people say that, like,
No.
DB, you crack? Nah.
I don't agree with that at all, because how do you expect for your child to respect you if you don't respect them? They're human.
But then think about it too, though. When you come in and you just pointing out things that I did wrong, now I feel attacked. So whenever you feel attacked, you come out the whole scratching and fighting too.
I'm coming out the trunk.
Yeah, so anytime you make any human feel attacked, they gonna defend themselves. As parents, we should do our best not to make our children feel like they're being attacked by us. Because if they feel like they're being attacked, they're in a place where we can't guide them or anything.
Well, they shut down.
Yeah.
They'll shut down and they'll look elsewhere for
And
that.
they're gonna give them snappy comeback. So at the end of the day, just keep all this in mind, right? And I personally had to learn that my authority wasn't gonna get the desired outcome, because authority is not influence. And when you have adult children, fuck your authority. They don't give a damn about your authority. That works until you're about 15, 16. Now we need to influence. You know what I'm saying? Because what do we always say? When we lose a kid or something, you out there being influenced by the streets, or you out there being influenced. Yeah, you're right.
By somebody other than you.
Because you didn't take the time to learn how to influence your children. So therefore it opened up for somebody who don't have their best interest at heart to influence them to do what they needed them to do.
Right.
So.
Well, that happened. I mean, we can speak from experience.
Yeah, because Lil Darrin told me. I lost Lil Darrin at 14. I stopped being his influence at 14. We talked about it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
What was that moment for him?
He started going to these apartments where it was a bunch of other stuff going on, and that's what he got influenced by. You know what I'm saying?
But why did you stop? Why did he feel like you stopped? Did he express that?
Yeah, because me being at work, providing, and I got people older than me right now giving me the love and attention that is negative love and is to get him to do things that is not conducive or positive for him, but he got the attention.
So it's no different than joining a gang.
That's exactly what he did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now, your son 21 and you still got influence over him. You don't want to lose it by being controlling. And that's what I was explaining to you earlier. Because your kids still call you and they still talk to you.
They still call, you know what's so funny? They still, both of them, my eldest two, they still call me mommy. Yeah. When they reference me, they don't say mommy when they're trying to get my attention. I'm mom. Yeah. Like, mom, look, come look at this. But when they're talking to each other about me, oh yeah, mommy did that earlier. Well, mommy says it's so crazy to hear them at 16 and 21 still referring to me as mommy.
That means you haven't lost them yet.
Well, I don't want to ever lose them.
And I'm trying to get you not to by trying to get you to stop with these calm clapbacks. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point, though. Right? Yeah. Authority is not influence.
And I know I don't like authority. I can't stand
it. And so some days before you respond, retreat first before you respond. Get yourself together. Think about it in totality, not halfway.
Yeah, I need to take a longer pause. Because when I mentioned that in one of our last episodes, when I was like, I do a lot of pausing now, but I didn't specify how long the pauses last. Yeah. So I need to be more intentional with those pauses because it definitely can make or break me or the situation. And I'm all about trying to keep the temperature down as much as possible. Because when she gets heated, I mean, just think about when your house, when it gets hot, it takes a little bit longer for the house to cool down than it does to heat up.
Oh, most definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's a frustrating, emotionally ignorant situation.
But to your defense, because I know you, you also do a good job at doubling back and apologizing when you're wrong.
Yes.
So no matter how far you think you're gone, you double back and apologize, which is an awesome thing because it emphasizes and it demonstrates that even as an adult, when you're wrong, you're supposed to apologize. So I'm sure that whatever is going on, right, when he feels safe enough to do so, he's going to apologize.
I think so. Like I told you before, he has taken the initiative to apologize and acknowledge his wrongdoings.
When he apologizes, you also owe him an apology.
For what?
Do we really need to go over it?
I mean, you can do a soft reminder.
Because your attitude and your demeanor and the way you came off wasn't the most positive, and it wasn't geared towards a good resolution. In those moments, you was trying to get a point across instead of building a relationship, right? And you even admitted it was a point that you had never discussed with him before. And we thought that he should know better because that's what we thought. But I keep saying we cannot punish kids for things that we have not taught them. No matter how simplistic, no matter how much of common sense that we think it is, I'm sure that young man did not think nothing about what he did, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's good to apologize when you jump the gun because by your own admission, in this situation, y'all never had a discussion about it. So I don't know if I'm supposed to do it or not supposed to do it because we never talked about it.
Okay.
That's how you prevent losing your child. And as difficult as it is for parents to apologize to their children, I've had to apologize to my children a lot before I started allowing them to come to me and just bring me anything, however they need to say it or do it in the moment. And then we work through it. And then I teach them how to handle it in the future.
Okay. I don't have a problem. If I'm wrong, even in the smallest.
But I'm not going to say wrong.
Well,
I'm not going to say wrong. Just the delivery was a little rough, right? Because in your admission, Zari caught a stray. So you need to apologize to Zari too. My little partner didn't deserve that. She minding her own business and catch a stray. The beautiful thing about this is we all got room to grow.
yes.
We all are evolving. We all gonna do something wrong. So the more you apologize to them when they do something wrong, and the more you accept their apologies, guess what? The more they accept yours. Because even as parents, sometimes parents be fucking up too. I often tell people, don't be like, yeah, this time, and I'm talking about even when I'm dealing with married couples. And because people come to me about their marriages too, because that's
Are
just,
you a marriage counselor now? What's going
to
on?
some people, yeah.
Okay.
I be talking to a lot of people about a lot of things because everybody believe I got it together on a whole. And I don't have it together like that. I'm just a little bit further down the journey than them. So I be telling people, yeah, this time it's them. It's going to be you one day. Give them the same grace you're going to need from them when it's your turn.
Right. Yeah.
You could probably use this. Well, but no, you don't even need that tool because y'all don't have a lot of things stacked up against y'all. And so in the beginning, we came up with, I forgot where we got it from, old mop water.
To throw it out with the old mop water?
Oh, you ain't never seen nobody put old mop water back in the bucket.
Yeah, no.
So once we talk about it and we hash it out and we get rid of it, we throw it out like old mop water. Can't never bring it back up. We got that from somewhere, but we thought it was super dope that once you talk about it, get your point of view out, I get my point of view out. We never talk about it. It never comes back up again. You know what I'm saying? Not in the, well, you did that last week. Nah, we already talked about that. Like, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to children, in the way we raised our children, you did a hell of a lot better than me, right? I had to go back and rebuild. You don't have to. You just got to self-correct and then correct them on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to go back and rebuild nothing.
Well, thank you, D.
And as your older partner, I would love for you to keep it that way.
That is the goal. And I just continue to work on me. I think the more that I do the self-reflection, the self-work, the healing, the rebuilding, the transforming and all of that, I think that will then, I don't want to say bleed, but grow into me becoming a more vibrant mother. Because I'm still tainted in certain ways. So I'm still letting go of some things that I experienced with my mom.
So you're still updating your internal software.
I'm trying to speed it up.
Don't worry about speeding it up. Just keep being consistent.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that, but I definitely need to speed it up a little bit.
Don't put that type of pressure on yourself. You got the basis. The basics work. Silence is easier to fix than a misspoke word. Apologize when you need to. And get a man grace to grow.
We'll give both of them. Because Zaria, she should be 17 in December. Even though she'll still be at home for a while, but she's getting up there.
Yeah.
She's coming into her young ladyhood.
And understanding that the rules they had at 14, 15 don't apply at 17, 21. Those rules don't apply. Some of them may translate, evolve because they have, but the same rules at 14, 15 don't apply at 21 and 17. And you can say that baby girl 17. If she turns 17 in December, you're going to blink 20 times and it's going to be December. You know what I mean? So start working on your internal software about what you believe and the stories that you're telling yourself on why these rules still apply, and then update that because that eliminate a lot of pushback.
On myself?
No,
Oh, you mean from them?
From them,
Yeah.
because if I'm maturing and I'm not really displaying too much of a negative behavior and I'm still being held to the same rules that I was at 14, 15, you see how frustrating that could be? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm snappy. Because mom, you still treat me like a kid. And I'm not a kid. You know what I'm saying? And so you got some good kids. I'm going to keep telling you that. I'm going to keep telling you, I've met your kids. I've hung out with your kids. I gave your son a book. He read the whole book and we discussed it lightly. And he read it on his own terms, in his own time. You know what I mean? So it ain't many 21-year-old men that I can get to read a book just based on me saying, hey, this is a good book for you to read.
He did that because I raised him on reading.
But I
he's
don't
an avid
care
reader.
what you raised him on. I just want you to understand that it's not many 21-year-old men out there reading on their own accord that's not sitting inside of a facility that have them confined for 23 hours out the day. We don't have no choice but to read because they're just trying to pass the time. You have a free son out here in a free world reading books recommended by a guy just because he looks up to him a little bit. That is something to be proud of, something to be thankful for, and something to acknowledge. I get it. It's normal for you. You got some nephews that ain't reading books.
Yeah.
Just that quick. Give that man some grace. Like, he a good kid. He doing a typical 21-year-old thing. He ain't thinking things all the way through. But he gonna be all right.
Well, he been all right this far. Yes, I believe that he will be all right. As long as he continues to stay on the right path, he'll be just fine as he's been. I just need to relax a little bit and allow nature to take its course.
But I'm curious, what you thinking right now? Because your wheels are spinning. So what you thinking?
I'm thinking a lot of things. Ultimately, I'm just processing the conversation that we're having right now and the jewels that you've dropped on me. Ultimately, taking everything into consideration that you've shared. Geminis are hard thinkers, deep thinkers.
I've never gotten to the horoscope thing, so I'm taking your word for it. That's
Very analytical.
That's like sports and politics. I don't get into it.
Oh, okay.
I don't get into the astrology, astronomy and signs and all that. But okay, so any parting words?
I've instilled a lot of things into my children as they've grown. And I think one of the main things was to teach them how to be independent in their moves, in their thoughts, in their decisions, not to be followers, be leaders. So just continuing with that in mind as I move forward in my parenting stages, at the stages that I'm in right now, and just watch them blossom.
You do realize you got to let go of the reins to watch them blossom.
I do. And sometimes that's easier said than done when you've been doing it by yourself for so long. And so I'm not afraid to admit that. I've literally raised both of them on my own.
I get it.
So I'm learning now, like I said, I'm at a different stage of motherhood.
Most definitely.
So teaching myself that it's okay to let go. The things that I've instilled in them, the things that I've taught them, the things that they've learned on their own and from other family members and experiences, it'll all show. It's time to see what they learn.
It's time to see what they learn.
Yep, and how they implement.
We could say that we taught them a lot of stuff, but if we never give them opportunity to show us what they learned,
Right.
we don't know what they learned.
I agree.
So release the reins a little bit on him, not so much on her. You know what I mean? She needs a little bit more leeway, but not as much as a 21-year-old. But release. It's cool. You'll be okay. I promise you're going to be okay.
And I have to remember to not mistake dependence for disregard.
Exactly.
I truly believe in my heart of hearts that my children do respect me.
They
Wholeheartedly.
100% respect you.
And not only do I believe that, but I feel it, I see it. And the little hiccups that we may have along the way, those are just growth spurts, I believe.
Everybody have hiccups along the way.
Right.
They just hiccups. And that's where you guide them back into position.
Yeah. But they're guiding me too.
So that's what I'm saying.
My children have taught me a lot. They've made me a better person. Not only a better...
You say that a lot too.
Because it's the truth.
You say that a lot. So I think that's a good episode. My final words would be just to release a little bit. Being in control is not influence, and we'll never know what they actually learned till you release some of that control. And understanding that sometimes life gonna have to teach us some lessons that they wouldn't learn from our instruction.
Right. They only learning from experience.
Yeah, they gotta learn it from their own experience. And that's okay. They'll be okay.
I agree.
So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out this episode of the Pain and the Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Darrin Bedford.
I'm your co-host, Nafeesah Bashir.
Hope you have a wonderful day. We love you. Peace.
Peace.